river, deliver him there. I love this movie, guys. Hey there, everyone. That sexy nerd is back again. And in honor of Val Kilmer, we are reviewing the Nostalgic Critic episode of Prince of Egypt. I might actually do one more in honor of Val Kilmer, because there's one more movie that he's done that is that Val Kilmer. You know which one. I know some of you know which one I'm talking about. I might actually do it. But this takes priority first. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. I can't believe that he died so young, but, you know, he also was pretty old. Was a little old. He also seemed to not be taking care of himself in the last few days. But, you know, hey, what are you going to do? I've never seen the Top Gun movies, so I can't gauge his response from there. I thought I was going to watch it while he was still alive, but, you know, goddamn, man, time really passes you by. But I'm so glad I watched this movie. It's another nostalgic trip for me. What do you call it? I ever since this movie came out, I fell in love with it. And we used to watch the Ten Commandments like all the time at my house whenever it come on, especially during Passover and everything. Prince of Egypt, like, you know, they always used to show Prince of Egypt like they show It's a Wonderful Life around Christmas time. Not Prince of Egypt, Ten Commandments. And honestly, I think they should do that instead, show Prince of Egypt, because honestly, in my opinion, Prince of Egypt is a better movie. Yeah, Ten Commandments is more expansive and tells a bigger story and a more adult story, but Prince of Egypt is better. And you know, I remember I told my father that, and he was like, "What? You crazy?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." The Prince of, Ten Commandments at times meanders. Prince of Egypt gets through the story right quick and you know, without any boring parts. And that's what I was. That's what I was concerned about when I was a kid, boring parts. It was the same thing in Godzilla movies too. You know, again, I will maintain this till the day I die. The American Godzilla movies are not the only ones that had boring human subplots. The Japanese movies did that in spades, absolute spades. And I used to have to keep on like rewinding it. And again, Prince of Egypt, never had to rewind through any of it because I love that entire movie. I disagree with Doug saying that some of the songs are a little and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Every song in this movie is fantastic. I don't care if it's like the comedic song, but you know, even still, it's you know, he even comes up with a few points. I believe as far as some of the songs are concerned. But I love this movie. I don't think I've seen this review in a good while. I have watched it because again, Prince of Egypt was one of my favorites, but I haven't watched it in a good while, and I've been meaning to watch it again. So thanks to my subscriber for letting me know. I hope you become a Patreon man, because you've really been helping me out with some videos and ideas. So, with that out of the way, please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And remember, sign up for my Patreon for all my latest reactions to all my latest videos. And let's do this thing now.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. There's been a lot of movies that changed the way we look at epics. Lawrence of Arabia, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and arguably one of the biggest trailblazers, the Ten Commandments, both the original and the remake. And we're going to talk in great detail about how both these movies left a huge impact on the world of cinema. Anyone else hearing that? Excuse me for a second.
Yes! The better movie.
Critic, take your shoes from your feet.
Fuck you, Quinn.
Seriously, you're tracking mud over holy ground.
Dude, this is the internet. Feet are like unobtainium here.
Okay, fine. Just answer me this. Why have you abandoned me?
Abandon you? You're the Prince of Egypt. You're like the anime film I watched the most when I was a teen.
Really?
Yet you're talking about 10 Commandments.
Well, not like you more, but 10 Commandments left a bigger impact on cinema.
And I didn't?
You're a hand-drawn film at a time when CG was Beyonce-ing from Destiny's Child.
So that means I matter less.
No. Yes. I don't know.
How many people praise 10 Commandments?
A lot.
And how many people praise Prince of Egypt?
A few.
You never talk about me anymore. I used to be the most beautiful animated film you ever saw. Now it's all Into the Spider-Verse and Lego Movie and Kung Fu Panther.
Panda.
I know what I said.
Clearly don't.
I just want you to look at me with the awe you had when you first saw me.
Look, an anime Blu-ray who obtained speech, you may be right. Maybe not enough people talk about how impressive you were, even 2 decades later.
Well, too little too late.
Look, polish your disc, upgrade your cover art, because I'm gonna treat you like royalty.
Yes.
You really mean it?
Absolutely. I have taken you for granted. It's about time everybody sees you for the true prince that you are.
Oh my god. I can't wait to tell all my book club. Hey, guess what underrated animated film might get a resurgence?
Hey. Spirit?
Well, it is underrated.
You should do Spirit next.
Released in 1998, Prince of Egypt was one of the last major hand-drawn animated films that turned in a decent profit at the time.
Wow.
That wasn't Disney. Serving as one of the first major releases from then new studio, DreamWorks. This was their attempt to show they could play with the big boys and turn in something as massive as Disney. And to put it bluntly, this was my Lion King. Don't get me wrong, I really like that film and I know how important it was, but when you ask me what nostalgic animated movie I associate with having big drama, big characters, big landscapes, big songs, everything you associate with being epic that you watched a ton of times in theaters and even more times at home, that was Prince of Egypt for me. I loved the beautiful artistry, layered acting, visual storytelling, and complex emotions. Though it did fine when it came out, I think a lot of people still associate it with, well, kid stuff. And truth be told, you can see why. It is still a musical like many kids' films, hand-drawn like many kids' films, has comic relief like many kids' films, and yes, was marketed as a kids' film.
Next week only, you can get a free beanbag camel toy.
My favorite part was the baby in the water. Mommies keep their little boys and girls safe.
My favorite part is when all the firstborns died. Na 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 na.
That was actually close.
And while the film does certainly aim for the children demographic as well,
And just to show we feel no spite.
yeah, we'll get to that. The clever ways it utilizes its medium to tell its story is still awe-inspiring. Just because it's a musical doesn't mean it's not a great musical. Just because it's hand-drawn doesn't mean it's not spectacularly hand-drawn. And even with state-of-the-art technology at the time, the movie still utilizes a lot of classic film storytelling techniques. You can practically do a drinking game to how many shots were clearly inspired by Citizen Kane, Lawrence of Arabia, and yes, the 10 Commandments. It's a film I hold very close to my heart, even if sometimes I forget the impact it's had on me.
Yes.
Well, today, we're gonna give credit where it's due. This is the underappreciated, but still massively impressive, Prince of Egypt. I'll admit, there is something funny about the film's intro saying how authentic it is right before everyone breaks into a musical number.
Promised us.
Again, you can see how some people would have a problem getting a grasp on this film.
Deliver us. I just thought it was badass. Shut up.
The songs are by Stephen Schwartz and orchestrated by Hans Zimmer. I guess a lot of folks wanted to see Elton John and Tim Rice back like they did with Lion King, but Schwartz's songs are pretty damn epic.
Next song, next movie too. El Dorado.
Honestly, I'm just not sure how the John and Rice combo would work here.
No, it wouldn't.
When was this, 98? Is that back when PG still meant something? Oh
Yes,
yeah,
it did.
baby business. Yeah, this isn't like Onwards PG with, oh no, thematic elements. This is
Action
the
and
Adams Family
peril.
Girl Scout cookie joke replaced with baby food. You actually need parental guidance in this film that recommends parental guidance.
My baby.
Fearing her baby will be next, a mother puts her son in a basket hoping he'll survive the dangerous waters. You can actually do a bookend count. There's so many clever callbacks in this film, but we'll get to those when we get to those.
Flow gently.
Oh, guys.
The scene always gets me emotional too. Damn it. I like literally only hear it. I always I always get emotional for that. And that's the one scene that I wish that they did in the Ten Commandments that I wish they did in here. I wish they didn't just pass over the freaking mother like she never existed. Ten Commandments didn't do that. Why couldn't this movie? No, because they had to make way for Sandra Bullock's character. That's why.
Well, God's not answering that prayer. Yeah, God's not really known for giving his chosen ones the fluffiest of lives.
No.
He's washed away to the queen, who comes across the baby in her pond. Aww. Sarah, tell the soldiers they missed one.
Yeah, right.
He is named Moses, and he grows up into a young prince played by Val Kilmer, with his brother Ramesses played by Ray Fiennes. This is a star-studded cast with none of them Egyptian. Shame. I wanted to enjoy this too. It's just Gods of Egypt, except less animated.
Admit it, you've always looked up to me. Yes, but it's not much of a view.
So, while humor is certainly a needed levity in a film like this, and it helps hook younger viewers in as well, how did Ray Romano put it?
It's not really about the kids.
Yes, the humor is more a means to show how everyone works off each other. Moses and Ramesses playfully get in trouble, caring nothing for the slaves or their hard work they destroy. The priests, played by Steve Martin and Martin Short, keep their positions of power through illusions, claiming they're the works of the gods. Even the spin of Moses' wig is to make it clear he isn't scalping himself later on when he takes it off. So unlike other comic relief where they exist only to provide laughter, these comedic elements do all play a part in telling the story. With that said, it would be nice if they were funnier.
Don't think we'll get in trouble for this, do you? No, not a chance. You're in trouble, young man.
Get down here.
My new thing.
My new
thing.
That line is so lazy it might actually work its way around to being funny.
Yeah, actually it is.
Nobody will even notice us coming in.
Nobody will even notice.
Everybody hates Ramesses.
Moments are not only effective, they're concise. You get right away that Pharaoh, played by Patrick Stewart, places a lot of pressure on Ramesses, saying he could be the weak link to bring down their empire, which he ultimately will be. But he also does care for his children.
So is he.
He's not a 100% movie monster.
I know he will live up to your expectations.
Maybe. Maybe so.
All of this is set up in just 3 minutes, and the rest is established through subtle touches. Like
Again, this movie has masterful storytelling and able to do that. You know, Ramesses is actually a complete asshole in Ten Commandments. Like, even looks like an asshole. I remember I was surprised. I think I saw this. No, I technically saw Ten Commandments first, but I didn't remember it. Then I saw it again after I saw Prince of Egypt, and I couldn't believe how much of an asshole Ramesses was. Like, I'm just, he wants to steal Moses' girlfriend, crush, whatever, the girl who, oh man. You know, honestly, as much as I like this movie, Ten Commandments actually is it's a pretty good movie. Cecil B. DeMille really did a great job. But again, I like this movie just a little bit more.
Ramesses' place of relaxing is always in his father's lap. And even the sculptures of Pharaoh are constantly looking down on him.
Yeah.
They get across a lot with more than just dialogue. It's body language, scenery, and returning imagery. Also, I do want this on a t-shirt.
Be still, Pharaoh speaks.
Tell me that wouldn't sell. To celebrate Ramesses being crowned Prince Regent, the priests offer up a woman they captured from Midia, named Zipporah, played by Michelle Pfeiffer.
You will show the proper respect for a prince of Egypt.
But I am showing you all the respect you deserve.
None!
None!
In biblical times, that was their version of
not.
Fun trivia, if you notice this one servant popping up every once in a while, it's because he was originally given a much bigger role.
Really?
Moses would confess his thoughts to him the same way the owners in Downton Abbey would talk to their staff. But the connection between the brothers seemed more important, so a lot of his lines were given to Ramesses, reducing this character and all his lines of dialogue to simply,
You there, have had sent to Prince Moses' chambers.
So as a running joke, the directors always referred to this once essential character as simply
You there.
You there.
Still got more attention than Cyborg in the Wheaton Cut.
Yeah.
Zipporah tries escaping, but Moses notices her.
Prince Moses.
Playing way too many games.
There's a man tied.
Escaping, but Moses notices
Hang on.
attention than Cyborg in the Wheaton Cut. Zipporah tries
So, he apparently loves to be tied up too. Tell me he doesn't look like he's enjoying himself there.
escaping, but Moses notices her.
Prince Moses.
There's a man tied up in my room.
Oh, also that woman is getting away. Sorry, I should have led with that. She escapes, but Moses comes across his real brother and sister, Miriam and Aaron, played by Sandra Bullock and Jeff Goldblum.
At last.
At last?
Didn't I tell you? I knew he would return to us when he was ready.
Miriam, do you want us flogged?
I know I kind of crapped on the comedy earlier, but honestly, their improvising surprisingly adds a lot to this scene.
Jeff Goldblum's good at it.
The tragedy of pretending to be inferior to someone when you know you share the same blood.
She's exhausted from the day's work. Not that it was too much. We quite enjoyed it, but she's confused.
She thinks this is a Disney production. I keep trying to tell her it's Don Bluth.
You will regret this night.
Hush now, my baby.
This is actually one of the directors, Brenda Chapman, singing here, who also does the Angel of Death voice.
Really?
Another director, Simon Wells, would do the voice of the old man getting whipped later as well. These actually weren't meant as clever cameos, they just weirdly matched. They even said Simon was the only voice who sounded like an old guy, even when they had old guy scream for the part.
What?
Like I said, callback.
Yeah, I love that.
My last lullaby.
I've heard a lot of people say, how could Moses remember that song if he was a baby,
care.
But it's a musical. The song should be utilized whenever they can, and with him whistling the tune earlier.
Yes.
I think it's a clever way to show we figured it out.
Yeah, and not only that, tell me people wouldn't remember just slightly something that the mother that they've never thought they had, you think that the one thing that they remember, that they would try to hold on to that memory for the longest time. Tell me people wouldn't do that in real life.
Speaking of which, it's time for the Nuh-uh song.
This is
My home.
And if anybody does it,
I couldn't be more wrong.
Denial. It isn't just a river in Egypt. Whoa, someone cut the budget in half.
Oh no. Oh yeah, this scared the shit out of me.
This is a clever way to establish that Moses is dreaming, as a lot of directors of animated films have said that's very difficult to get across sometimes. Personally, this is just what I dream when I combine Chipotle with Link Between Worlds at night.
Yeah. It scared the crap out of me too. I was like, what
with the other babies, another really great metaphor.
Looks like a
when he
nightmare.
searches the temples and discovers the awful truth.
Well, why did he document that?
I really should have painted over that.
Why did you document it in the first place?
Sacrifices must be made.
Again, the film is really good at making Pharaoh seem human, but not too sympathetic.
Oh, my son. They were only slaves.
It's a good line.
It's not like I took away your TikTok account. Is that still a thing, TikTok? I'm not on top of what the kids are into, but maybe it's because I slaughter them.
After having a nice talk with his mother, played by Helen Mirren, he looks at the treatment
really?
of his people differently.
Fate has turned our little misadventure into a great opportunity.
I'll admit I love that they used the nose knocked over earlier as a viewing point, and it'll be a great addition to Egyptian Double Dare.
Leave that man alone!
What's happening under my nose? He accidentally kills one of the soldiers and runs away, leading to one of the most telling lines from Ramesses.
You saw what happened. I just killed a man.
We can take care of that.
He was so unfazed by that, it makes you wonder how many people died and they just swept it under the sand.
Dude, it's ancient Egypt! What did you think? That they built those pyramids through kindness and fairies and unicorns? No, lots of people died. I'm sure that the royal family, the royal family didn't have to even be Egyptian to give a shit about their own people. European monarchs would do the same goddamn thing. It's like, oh, somebody died? Oh, better add him to the foundation.
Was there like a housemaid under that nose? It would surprise me.
Moses?
Please.
The animation when Moses realizes not only what he's leaving behind, but who he's leaving behind is perfectly heartbreaking.
It is.
The expressions in this film really are
good.
some of the best in hand-drawn animation. The same can be said for the transitions. If you watch Moses' descent into the desert, you'll notice he dissolves from left to right, getting smaller and smaller. This isn't just done to show off, though. Him getting smaller and the background getting bigger shows how more and more lost he's becoming. and how the brutality of the desert is slowly claiming his life, which a sandstorm almost does.
Timon, you better come look! I think it's still alive!
Hakuna Matata!
Again, really glad Schwartz did the songs on this one.
Timon
discovers a camel, which leads into a village where Zipporah lives with her family, and sadly recognizes him.
That's why Papa says she'll never get married.
Burn.
There is a funny line here and there.
Ladies, you've cleaned every inch of me. Whoa! I was wrong.
I was like,
Maybe
what?
two. He's accepted into the village of Midian, but claims he's done nothing worth honoring. The high priest, played by Danny Glover, sings a nice song about how small acts of kindness can mean a world of difference.
And to one lost sheep, a shepherd boy is greater than the richest king.
Notice how the rug perfectly blends into the mountain? Again, not without purpose. The song explains how a thread in a tapestry is like a stone on a mountain, all of equal value. So the rug becoming the mountain shows the similarities. Yes, these are little touches, but as the song says, they add up to form something really special. Again, there's more storytelling going on than what's simply in the dialogue.
Songs.
And yeah, okay, these two did get married a little fast in the story, but thankfully they do have chemistry in the rest of the film, so I think it makes up for it.
I love you. We shall be married in the morning.
Also, there's a scene when they're in the... when they're like, yeah, we're gonna get married, they look like they're arguing the fuck up, and then just Danny Glover's character just hugs them both, and then lie 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 lie. I mean, it kind of does happen quick, but also when you're a kid, you don't really care. You know, you're just getting this shit out of the way. You wanted to see him go back to Egypt as much as possible, or you know, meet God. Which happens.
Cut to years later, where a literal Lamb of God leads Shepherd Moses to the burning bush. Kilmer also does the voice of the Almighty, but whispered under him is actually all the people he's met in his life.
It's crazy.
Ramesses, Zipporah, his mother, and so forth. Again, it's a nice little detail.
Who are you?
I am that I am.
I am that I am.
Oh, I'm also Popeye.
I have come down to deliver them out of slavery and bring them to a good land, flowing with milk and honey.
And it's part of our nutritious breakfast.
It's also pretty cool that all the elements work their way in. Fire, obviously, but also wind, earth, and the reflection of water. Thank literal God this isn't a Turner production, or else he might have looked like this.
Or
that
Avatar.
Piece of paper can be recycled and used again to make napkins, newspapers, and lots of other products even more exciting than napkins and newspapers.
What about Aang? Could have earth, wind, water, fire. It could have been the Avatar.
I shall teach you what to say.
Let my people go!
Well, just that one thing, but you'll say it a lot.
How can I even speak to these people?
Who made man's mouth?
That was
God
weird.
have to cut a bitch?
You shall do my wonders.
There also might be some symbolism around the color choices, as blue seems to indicate the Pharaoh and danger, where orange seems to be more connected to the Hebrews and freedom. In fact, you see the color change when he brings them up.
I have seen the oppression of my people in Egypt.
Could be overthinking it, but it's an interesting tidbit. Once his mission is made clear, the bush blooms, and Moses tells Zipporah he must return to free his people.
Zipporah, please, look at your family.
Don't you want to get away from him for a while? He returns to find Ramesses has been made pharaoh, and he's ecstatic that his brother has finally returned home.
I pardon forever all crimes of which he stands accused. He is the Prince
Of Egypt.
Sounds great. Where's my throne? Oh, I mean, I should really do the freeing thing. Can you point to where the throne would have been? Though it breaks his heart, Moses admits to Ramesses that he's there to free his people, and uses God's power to turn his staff into a snake.
Wow, impressive.
The priests, however, show off their illusions, giving the impression that their gods are stronger.
Big boys now. With the big boys now.
So admittedly, this is not the strongest song in the film, but there's a few...
Yes.
So admittedly, this is not the strongest song in the film, but
Who
there's a few
cares?
things to keep in mind. First off, this was meant to play up the magician aspect, so it was going to be more like a Vegas number with showgirls and animals, stuff like that. When they decided to take a darker tone though, they changed the orchestrations but kept the lyrics the same. Honestly, they should have changed them to be a little darker. With that said, this is the comic relief song. Think about that. Compare it to other comic relief songs you've seen in the past.
Bees will buzz, kids will blow dandelion fuzz.
You're playing with the big boys now. She wants you so any moment she'll walk through
the door. Playing with the big boys, you're playing. Yeah, exactly. What a wonderful phrase.
You will kneel before us.
Suddenly it's looking a little bit more badass, isn't it?
Oh yeah, but it's weird. It's really telling that my last nostalgic review had Hakuna Matata in it, and lo and behold, this one also has Hakuna Matata. I can never escape it. Doug would be so upset living my life. He's like, all you hear is Hakuna Matata, Hakuna Matata, save me!
Also, I just love this random lady's reaction to it. Like,
oh my god, snakes! Snakes! Oh, that's like the thing I like now! Snakes! Oh god, snakes!
Ramesses calls Moses into his throne room, still thinking this is all a joke. Not only do we see that the dead pharaoh clearly still has hold over him, as shown through this profile shot and the fact that his city has literally eclipsed his father's, but he also tries to make excuses for him.
His hands bore the blood of thousands of children.
Slaves!
Again, really great expression on him there. Ramesses is honestly one of the most underrated animated villains.
He really is.
When you compare him to other great animated baddies like Frollo or Gaston, Ramesses is still one of the most tragic, complex, and sympathetic.
I feel you feel too sorry for him. He's almost, if you're a kid, you wouldn't even think he's the villain, in my opinion at least. You'd have just been like, man, we just screwed this guy over. Well, we gotta free this guy's people, and I'm sorry, but I wish you could have joined us. That's basically how you feel through this whole thing. You don't feel like he needs to die, he needs to whatever. You feel like, man, I wish he could come with us.
What's his brother, but we've seen clearly the responsibility that's been hammered into him by his father. In some of the best animation in the movie, and that's really saying something, he comes to grips with the situation by going through every expression you could imagine. Ralph Fiennes didn't even think they'd be able to pull this off in animation. But you know instantly in every second what different emotion he's going through. I sadly can't show it all here because, you know, YouTube! But I suggest you find the scene and watch it on your own. It's really an incredible moment.
Ramesses, please, you must listen.
I will not be the weak link. Goodbye. Ha! 90s references. I love them. Oh, by the way, their workload has been doubled.
The slaves hate Moses for making things worse, especially his brother, who's now bringing his full Goldblum.
When did you start caring about slaves? Was it when you found out that you were one of us?
And before you even knew you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You're going to sell it. Well,
we didn't see because you didn't wish to see.
That is the satisfied look of the ultimate Goldblum. You did it. No will ever be more Goldblum. Now he needs the ultimate. Yeah, that one's definitely still in the lead.
Aaron, you shame yourself.
Uh-oh. Should I change my pants? Miriam gives Moses the motivation to confront Ramesses again, turning the river into blood. The priest, through another illusion, seemed to do the same thing.
It's orange juice.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Strawberry. I love my yummy wummy raw blood. Strawberry, Moses. Dork.
The Hebrews grow more nervous, but Moses gives a motivational speech.
He can take away your food, your home, your freedom, your sons and daughters. Pharaoh can take away your very lives.
A very bad motivational speech.
Yeah, by the way, the whole river of blood thing. Why isn't everybody dead? I'm sorry. I know that he put like a whole bunch of other plagues, but everybody should have been dead, especially with dealing with all that shit. Where the fuck are they getting water? Where?
This starts the plague song as God goes Old Testament on their asses, throwing everything at them. Fire, locusts, and frogs that were clearly designed in a hurry.
Yeah.
This is visually my favorite song in the film, as there's so much conflict going on. It's shown beautifully with the music. And again, the transitions are awesome. I love these cracks that are about to outline Moses' face. It quickly becomes silhouetted, only to discover its two faces, once again colored blue and orange.
Fantastic.
It's pretty sweet, though I will admit it does have kind of a sports graphic feel to it.
Welcome to the annual East-West Bowl, as we get ready to watch some of the best college players in the nation.
Yeah.
Moses returns to his old home, again shot for shot contrasting the last time he was there, and once again finds Ramesses in his father's lap.
Talk to me.
We could always talk
We could always talk here.
I think it's important to note that when Ramesses does start to open up, he's probably a little drunk, which leads to his vulnerability immediately being challenged when he discovers his son there.
It's so dark.
Look at how terrified he is of him. There's so much you can read into that reaction, especially given his past with his own father.
Think of your son!
He doesn't want to look weak in front of his son.
I do.
Fearing he'll look weak in front of his son and again wanting to follow his dad's footsteps, he makes the threat to finish off what his father started years ago. Let me move out of the way of this foreshadowing here. Oh, wait a minute! I'm the gator kibble, aren't I? That night, the final plague is unleashed as the Angel of Death smites all the firstborn sons except for those who put the blood of a lamb on their door.
That was so
the scene is
creepy.
fittingly creepy, but I will admit there's something about the Angel of Death checking the door that does make me laugh a little bit. Almost like they're scoping for a no-soliciting sign. Something about it makes it less mystical and more utilitarian.
Honey, did you take out the garbage?
Yeah.
Did you feed the cats?
Yeah.
Did you
No
put the
garbage.
lamb's blood on the door?
No.
You forgot to put the lamb's blood on the door?
Don't yell at me!
We'll put it up there right now before... Well, great. Timmy's dead.
I thought it was done Friday.
It's not a weekly thing!
Ramesses' son is taken as well, and he finally gives in.
You have my permission to go.
Can you give us directions so we don't get lost for 40 years?
Leave me!
All right. Who died? Oh, right. I'll show myself out. We get the film's big showstopper song, When You Believe, which is beautifully sung and orchestrated and joyful and uplifting. The only thing I don't like, how it starts. Moses is crushed. God basically murdered his nephew with his help. His family tries to console him, and the first thing his sister says is this.
Many nights we've prayed.
That is not what anyone would want to hear.
Yeah.
If she wants to sing, great, but sing to yourself or other people like Zipporah does. This is the equivalent of, come on, Moses, gray skies are gonna clear up. Seriously, if I was Moses in this scene, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Got heavy shit on my mind, man. Give me 10. No, we can sing Kumbaya later. You give me 10.
Many nights.
Also, there is something a little funny that this is a duet with Zipporah, as Miriam sings how she's been in captivity all her life, and Zipporah has been in captivity for a day, half a night. Of course, this all builds up to the climax where Ramesses changes his mind and chases after them, but a fiery blaze stops them in their tracks. Okay, I'll level with you. There is no God.
No idea.
I made it up. I have no idea how all this strange shit is happening. Please don't hurt me. No, of course, he parts the Red Sea in one of the film's most stunning visuals, and they take advantage of how epic they can make it look.
They were saving
Every
that.
shot, you feel the size, cold, and texture of the scene. Again, it's spectacularly done. But God wants to make his third act more interesting, so he stops the fire before they all cross.
Oh, God just wanted him in the water.
Hurry! Must go faster.
Yeah, he just wanted them
They make it
all
just
in
in time
there.
as the sea drops, washing Ramesses back to shore. I really dig how there's a solid half a minute of silence just taking in what happened. Again, it makes the unbelievable seem more believable, before Moses stares across the sea, once again bookending the last time he said goodbye to his brother.
Wow. You suck!
Yeah, I'm going with my people. Cut to Moses with the 10 Commandments. I'll just assume the rest of the happy ending is in the Snyder Cut.
I know, right?
And we wrap up, in my opinion,
the better movie.
One of the best hand-drawn movies ever made.
Yes.
Even over 20 years later, this movie is a marvel.
It is.
At the time, it was the most expensive animated film ever
Really?
made, and the money is truly on the screen.
Wow.
I can see why some people don't get into its attempts to hit a younger demographic, but the artistry and storytelling clearly meant for adults is well worth several viewings. Every time I see it, I notice something I missed before. The detail is so rich and the passion so vibrant. I know it didn't change cinema or anything like that, but it told a great story with great characters using great songs and great visuals.
Right.
It truly does deserve more attention,
It does.
more praise, and more people talking about it. So if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. And if you have before, take another look.
Yes!
Because there's always something new to discover each time.
Aw, gee, Critic, do you really mean it?
With all my...
Critic!
Ah, shit.
I thought I was the greatest Moses movie ever.
Get out of here,
Oh,
whore.
no, baby, it ain't like that.
Oh,
Get outta
it is
here,
like
whore.
that, bitch. There's a new hotness in town.
I would never have done that. You're a cheating bastard. Oh, the Ten Commandments, at least with me, 10 Commandments knows its place. Somebody's gonna kill me in the comments. It's like, oh, would you not like that big movie?
Don't you talk to her that way.
Don't you talk to her that way. That way.
Look, I was just trying to...
You better pack up, because your boring 3.5-hour ass is out of here.
Well, I'd much rather be too long than not long enough.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, I think you know exactly what it means.
I'm the nostalgia critic. I remember it, so you don't have
How
to.
do you sleep at night?
In a bed with my man.
Okay, that was one time.
Ah.
Ah. Okay, it was one time. That was funny. That was a funny line. Yeah, I love this movie so much, and I never really liked. I mean, I like Prince. Again, I like 10 Commandments fine. I just nowhere near as Prince of Egypt. Even my father is always surprised when I say that movie is better. That this movie is better. But yeah, once again, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. You really brought out some really good roles, and really you were underutilized. I really was surprised when they stopped using him so much. Like after the next movie I'm gonna do, I'm kind of shocked that they didn't use him in more movies. I don't know why. But anyway. I love, again, I wish I could watch this movie for the channel. I might actually do that because there are a few people that I know who have never watched it, and it's a real travesty. And especially people on here, let me know if you guys have never even watched it, because it's such a good movie. It really is, and I really, really would like to watch it for the channel. There's a lot of things I would like to watch for the channel. I'm still looking at Meet the Feebles right now. I still have to try and make that video, so hopefully I can make that movie. And yeah, there's so much more I can try. I'm gonna try and get up on here. But again, stay tuned for my next video, and please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And remember, sign up for my Patreon for all my latest reactions to all my latest videos. And I'll see you all in the next episode.